Hello, we're in Malta and I'm going to unpack a purchase from a Maltese artist who was also a collector and an antiques dealer. So Patrick Garlier sold me this horse, which I've only seen once before, but I've never handled it. And I want to get it out of the box, take some photographs of it. Okay. I'm nervous because these things are so easy to break. Okay. Oh, lovely. And we're going to have a chat about it. Okay. Okay, let's have a look at this thing. Okay, we've got a plaster horse. So what have I written about it? It says here, a horse. It has a bridle, so it is beyond a horse. It's a mule. It is a equine sculpture, and this thing stands on 4 legs. And because it stands on 4 legs, it is really brittle and vulnerable. The artist is G.BORG, and it is inscribed somewhere here, G.BORG 1934. And I think it is likely that is an inscription done at the time it was made by the hand of G.BORG. So G.BORG died in 1983, age 77, and he started studying under Giuseppe Duca. He then took up modelling classes under Antonio Micallef. Borg attended the Malta School of Art, where he won a scholarship. He then went to further his studies at the Regia Accademia di Belle Arti in Rome. So we have a good Maltese known artist, and there are things by this artist in the public collections of Malta. Okay, I'm going to look underneath it now. It is a hollow base, and I see no timber, I see no wire, I see nothing else other than the plaster at all, which is nice. There is some red staining from iron. I think there's going to be wires inside this, and I think there's going to be wires in this plinth somewhere. And where we have these red stains, it just shows that the iron has rusted and stained the plaster. There is damage on the plinth here. It's been re-glued. There is flaking, and there are bubbles in the form. There are also joints, which are a combination of deliberate joints and damage as well. So I think that's likely. It's possible that the tails come off, but not necessarily, because these joins here, these seams, are guidance of how to cast the horse, and they are probably seams or joins from how Borg made this horse. So I think this has been cast, this plasterwork, I think has been cast because there are these bubbles. As I said, there's a bubble there, there's bubbles here, bubbles on the tail, and bubbles on the head. So I think that this model has been made in a set of casts, and then it's been assembled And this is a bozzetto, a maquette, a dummy trial design for what would be a larger bronze, probably. There are lots of standing horses. The Chinese have got them, the Foo horses with the running glaze. There are a lot of this, and especially in that era, the 30s, there's lots of horse statues. But the notable thing really for me is this bridle and the fact it's quite a distinctive tail. And we've talked about what it's for, and we've talked about the seams, the joins, we've talked about the plasterwork, the staining. So the condition on this isn't perfect. But given that these maquettes in plaster are really vulnerable, there's a sufficient amount left. There's enough there for this to be a very, I'm going to say, important piece of Maltese art. It is an important piece of Maltese art, and to look at it is wonderful. It's a lovely looking thing. It's quite a big item. It's quite a big item. It's not one of these insignificant gift bronzes or the plasterwork trinkets. It's a big thing, and I think that if that's going to go into someone's house, I think it needs a better plinth. I think the plinth, I think it needs to have more height. It needs, you can see what I'm trying to suggest, it needs more height. It needs, the height will make it look better. The plinth will protect it as well. So there's some improvements that can be made. This can be repaired, the colour can be hidden or removed. But I think that on balance I probably would actually just leave it as it is. Okay, so this is on our website. We're going to add some more photographs, and so there's more detail. And if anyone wants to come and have a look at it in Nashar in Malta, they can do. We have another one of these plaster items by Willie Apap of a small dog. The other one we have, the Apap, is an example of plaster work that's been modelled, whereas as I say, I think this one's been cast. Are there any others of these horses around? I don't know. It's possible, but unlikely. Did he go on to make a bronze? Was it ever made, scaled up? I don't know. Okay, well I hope that hasn't been boring. Thanks for having a look.